Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make a DIY cutout card using your Cricut. Here are the materials you'll need. A blue Cricut mat, you can use the green one as well, but the paper might stick to it a little bit more. You'll also need some cardstock, a scoring tool, and a spatula. So here I have a new project. First, I'm going to insert a square and make this the size of the card that I want. So when closed, I want the card to be 4 inches wide and 6 inches tall. And I unlocked it so that the ratios could be different, otherwise it would stay a square. Next, I'm going to go into images and I'm going to type in cutout card. And from here, you can select some of the ones that are free, but what I wanted was this because that is how we're going to insert a paper inside. So if we select this, and insert, I'm going to unlock this, and since my card is 4 by 6 inches, I'm going to cut off half an inch so that this will fit inside. So this will be 3.5 inches wide and 5.5 inches tall. And now I want to select both and align center, so that's right in the middle, and then I'm going to select both again and hit slice. That will cut the lines from my shape. So if we look at it now, you can see that there are lines here from when this was cut out. So now I don't need this anymore. I can select both and hit delete. Okay, so we're working with this. And if you want to put in any words, you can. So you can select text. And I'm going to click on system because I don't have Cricut access. And since we're cutting this and this is going to be a cutout card, I want the font to be pretty thick, so I really like Arial Black, even though it's kind of basic. Okay, so I'm gonna type in the word love, but without the O, and a space in between each letter. So L blank V blank E. Okay, so I want to make sure that this is smaller than 3.5 because that's how big the paper in the back is going to be. Okay, and for the O, I'm actually going to add in another shape. I'm going to make this a heart. I'm going to change it to black just so it matches the text here. And this is 0.716 inches tall. So I'm going to change this to also be 0.716. So now I can drag it here and align them. So if I hold shift, I can select both. That way you won't get the card background. And I'm going to align by centering vertically. So now they're all in a line. You can also select both by clicking the heart and holding shift and selecting the text on the right hand toolbar area. So I'm going to group that. And I'm going to select these two and I'm going to align center because I want this to be on the center of this page here. And once you're happy with it, you'll have to ungroup. Okay, so now to cut this, I'm going to select the slice result, which is the card backing, and I'm going to first do the LVE part, so I'm going to hit slice, and then I'm going to select the heart and the slice result and slice again. So now you can see it says love with the O, and we can delete all of this because we don't need any of that anymore. For this card, I'm going to make it, we'll just say yellow, and we need a paper in the back since this is a cutout card. So I'm going to insert a square, and since I made this cutout 3.5 by 5.5, I also have to make this 3.5 by 5.5. So you just have to make sure it's the same size as that first cut that we made. And you can make this any color that you want. Let's say pink. And I'm just going to drag it down so it's behind so you can kind of see what it would look like. So once it's assembled, it would look like this. But this is just half the card, so we also need the other half. Since my card is 4 by 6, I'm going to add in another rectangle that's 4 by 6. And it makes it a little easier if we align this. So I'm going to put this at 0, 0 if you look at the position up here. And I'm going to move this to 4, 0. So let me just move this to the side. So now I want to make this one piece. So I'm going to select both and click weld. And what that does is there's no cut line here anymore. And instead, we want to go into shapes and select the score line. So that just helps you fold. And since the height of my card is 6 inches, I'm going to change the height to 6. And I know I want it to be at exactly 4, 0, because that's where this line is. And then we're going to attach. So that way the Cricut knows to score right here. And this is just the extra paper that I want behind it. So it'll look like this when it's done. So just a quick note, I made the O in love a heart because I know that if I just use the word and cut it out, it will look kind of odd. Let me just show you a quick example. So let me add some text, and I'm going to type in the word love again with a space in between. So if I do this and put this on here, select both and slice, when it comes out, even though there's the hole in the middle for love, when you actually make this, that hole is not going to be there because it's not connected to the paper, if that makes sense. So this whole thing will not show up. Okay, so it'll end up looking something like this, which I think is fine if that's the look you're going for. I personally just don't like that. Another way to get around this is to use a stencil font. So if you go to dafont.com, they have a lot of free fonts there. One of the fonts that I found on dafont.com is called Stencilia, and it looks like a stencil. So then when I type in the word love and put it in, now the O will not come off completely. So if I slice this, since there's little lines here that kind of keep it on the paper, it won't come out completely. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so since I'm not cutting this, I'm going to delete it, and this is my card that I'm going to make. So I'm going to select make it, and it's going to organize the mats by color. So this just means it's going to cut out the rectangle first, which is the rectangle that goes behind the card, and it's going to cut out the actual card second. Since we're doing 8.5 by 11, you can change it here, and it'll show you how to load in your paper. And since our card is only 8 inches wide, it won't go off the page. Okay, so when we're done, we're gonna select continue. I'm going to go back and select the first mat since I haven't cut that one out yet. I'm setting my base material to cardstock. You can also select it to custom and browse all materials and look at the cardstock. So I would probably use medium cardstock. Then once you're happy, you'll load in your mat and let it cut. And then for the second cut, this one will require a scoring stylus. So I'm going to select medium cardstock, and it'll tell you here that you need to load a scoring stylus into clamp A. The scoring stylus is really helpful for making a perfect fold without creasing the cardstock. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you with making a DIY cutout card. Please leave a comment if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for videos I should post. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye!